Greetings, this is Charles McCall again with Mentoring Growing Leaders, and we're continuing on a short series from John Maxwell's book titled Relationships 101, What Every Leader Needs to Know. You're going to find it difficult to get this book, to order it anywhere, and I've had this copy for many years. I'm not sure if it's even published anymore. It is published by Thomas Nelson Publishers, Relationship 101 by John C. Maxwell. You can search the internet to see if you can find it. But I've been doing a series of video lessons directly from this book. And so I believe there are 8 chapters, and I'm going to do a video, at least one video on every chapter. I'm just telling you, relationships are everything. If you're a leader or if you're not a leader, relationships are everything. Relationships in the family, relationships in the neighborhood, relationships at work. It's very important. And I'm sure that all of us need to improve our relationship skills. And so the lessons that John Maxwell shares with us are very, very important. And it's what every leader needs to know. It's really what every person needs to know. And so we're on lesson number 5, chapter 5. And this is part 2, so I recommend you go back to part 1 if you've missed this. And we're on part 2. We're actually going to be doing 3. There is so much in this short little chapter on relationships. We're going to be doing 3 short lessons on it. And the subject is, how can I become a better listener? For me, and maybe for you too, listening is so important for building close relationships. If you're a leader, or if you're just talking about at work or in the family or amongst your friends and relationships, how can I become a better listener? And the first point that John Maxwell brings out is, to become a good listener, you have to want to hear. But not just hear, you have to want to understand. We can hear, we can listen, and we can understand. They're not the same. Hearing is the sound of somebody's voice as they're talking. Sometimes we don't even hear them. And to listen to them means that we're actually paying attention. We're not distracted with our phone. We're not distracted with organizing something or looking off beyond them. But the third step, the third key, is actually understanding them. We can hear and not understand. We can listen and not understand. But when you understand or seek to understand someone else, it opens up a whole new realm of relationships that can lead you to success and can lead them to success as well. But we need skills. All of us need to develop skills. And so we're looking at the value of listening, and this lesson and the next lesson we're going to look at 9 skills to become a better listener. 9 skills to become a better listener. We're going to look at 6 of them in this lesson, I think 5 or 6 of them in this lesson, and then we'll finish them in the next lesson. Number 1 skill. Developing the skill to look at the person that is speaking to you. That doesn't sound so hard, but you know what? Some people feel uncomfortable looking into the eyes of another person while they're talking or while they're listening. But looking into the eyes really helps us to be able to connect. Instead of looking above them, or looking off to the side, or looking at your watch, or looking at something around the room, if you want to become a good listener, look at the person that is listening, that is speaking to you, whether it's one-on-one, or whether it's in a group, or whether it's in a large conference or seminar type of setting. Number 2, don't interrupt. Interrupting is when someone is talking and we cut them off. When we do that, it makes the person that is speaking feel disrespected. It makes them feel that what I'm saying is not important to you. It makes them feel what I'm saying is not important to you, and what you're saying is more important than what I'm saying. Not a good relationship builder. And so give people time to express themselves. Let them say what they're going to say and let them finish. And by the way, periods of silence in a conversation is okay. Sometimes we think that we need to keep the noise. We need to keep going back and forth in the conversation. Not necessarily so. It's okay for there to be a silent period during the conversation, during the give and take. It's time for us to reflect. Think about what they're saying, thinking about what the other person is saying. Reflect upon what's being said. Why do we interrupt people? John Maxwell gives 3 reasons in his book. Number 1, we don't place value on what they're saying. We interrupt them because we don't think what they're saying is important. Number 2, we want to impress them by showing how smart we are. Or we want to impress them by showing how much we know. And the third reason is we're so excited about what's being said, we can't contain ourselves. We can't wait for the other person to finish. I would really like to urge you, if you're interested in building relationships, to make an effort to hear, make an effort to listen, and make an effort to understand, and exercise self-control, and don't cut them off and don't interrupt them. Let them finish. Number 3 skill, the third skill, focus. These are skills. That means these are something that you and I can develop. For many of us, they don't come naturally, and we feel awkward when we do them. We try to develop them, but they're skills. Some people have a skill at playing guitar. Some people have a skill at singing. Some people have a skill at repairing. These are skills that they developed in some way. So these are listening skills, relationship skills. All of this entire book are relationship skills that we can develop to have better relationships with others, and so that we can have more success in life and they can have more success in life. The third skill is focus on understanding. Most of us remember only 50% of what we hear shortly after we hear it. Maybe 30 minutes, 1 hour, or a few hours after we listen to somebody, we only remember 50%. That is a fact. That's pathetic. But worse than that, the next day we only remember 25%. And so part of that is because we're not trying to understand. We're listening, we're distracted. Many times we're listening to someone. We have thousands of thoughts that enter our mind throughout the day. And so we're distracted. And so we forget. It's not important to us. But if we want to remember, then we try to understand what the speaker is saying rather than just try to understand the facts. Try to understand what they are saying rather than just trying to understand the facts. John Maxwell says, effective listening requires more than just hearing the words spoken. It means you try to find meaning and understanding in what is being said. Don't just listen for the facts. What are they trying to say? What is the main idea that they're trying to communicate? Now, sometimes we have to remember facts because that's why we're there. It's a lecture, or it's information that our boss is sharing with us, or our neighbor is sharing with us. So sometimes, yes, we do have to remember facts and numbers and that kind of information. But when it comes to becoming a good listener and understanding someone, don't only listen for facts. Listen to what is the main thing this person is trying to say to me. What are they saying by their verbal communication, and what are they not saying? Many times I'm listening to someone and I sense they want to tell me something, but they're not saying it. It's like they're going around, but they're not saying what they really want to say for some reason. We need to pay attention to verbal communication and non-verbal communication. Pay attention to the eyes. What do the eyes tell you? What do the hands tell you? What are they doing with their hands? And what does that show you about what they're trying to communicate to you? Their body position. Are they leaning forward? Are they relaxed? Do they fidget? Are they nervous? The tone of their voice. Do they talk fast? They talk slow. Do they hesitate? Are they clear? And so we pay attention to verbal communication, but also nonverbal communication. Some people beat around the bush. You can look at my slides. I have slides for all of these lessons, and you can email me at the email below the YouTube video, or you can go to my Facebook, Charles E. McCall. All of that will be below, and you will find the slides for all these lessons. And so some people beat around the bush. Beat around the bush comes from many years ago. Hunters would go out and they would hunt an animal to kill it, bring it home, and eat it, I suppose. And sometimes the animal would go into the bush. And so they would send someone, one of their helpers, and they would have a stick, and they would walk around the bush, or they would walk around in the forest, and they would hit the stick on the ground. And the purpose was to scare the animal to fly out or to run out so the hunter could kill it to bring it home for food. Some people beat around the bush. It means that they don't say what they want to say. They want to say something, but they're not saying it. Have you ever been in that kind of a situation? I have. And where I wanted to say something, but just I wasn't able to do it for some reason. And others, I'm listening to them and I can tell they're not saying what they want to say. This is called beating around the bush. And we do it sometimes because we're shy, or we don't want to upset somebody. We know we're going to say something that is going to hurt them or cause them to be upset, or they don't agree with. And so we beat around the bush. We're hesitant. We don't say what we really want to say. Or sometimes we just don't know how to say it. We can't find the right words to be able to say it. You and I can become the kind of person that is an open person, where people feel comfortable sharing with us what they want to say. That's the kind of people that I think that you want, that we want to be, that you want to be and I want to be. Number 4, determine the need for the moment. Why are they sharing this? Why are they engaging in this conversation? What is their reason behind it? We're looking for the need behind the moment. We're paying attention not just to the words, but we're trying to understand. What do they want? Or what do they need as a result of this conversation? There's something there. There's a reason. I need to try to create an atmosphere where I can discern what that need is or what that reason is. Men usually want to fix a problem. And so someone shares with us and we say, okay, this is what you need to do. 1, 2, 3, that will solve it. That's not always the best thing to do, men. And some women are this way too. Women usually just want to talk, and we say air their feelings, and they just want someone to listen to them. And so we need to pay attention to this. Don't always just fix the problem, but sometimes just listen. You know, sometimes people, they just want to share. We say they want to get it off their chest. They want to air their feelings. They just want someone to listen to them. They're not looking for someone to solve their problems. I used to work as a pastor, and part of my pastoral responsibilities was counseling. And you know what? I discovered many people who came in for counseling, they didn't want me to solve their problem. They just wanted someone that would listen to them, someone that would hear their side of the story, somebody that would try to understand their situation. And I would pray with them. They would be happy. And they'd say, Pastor, you're a great counselor. I didn't counsel them. I just listened to them and showed love. Number 5, skill. Check your emotions. We interpret what other people are saying by our own emotions. We call that a filter. We filter what someone else is saying to us. We filter it by our own emotions. Are we angry? Are we sad? Are we tired? Are we hurt? Are we afraid? Are we intimidated? Are we offended? And so whatever comes to us, we filter it by our own emotions. And so we need to check our own emotions. Maybe I'm not understanding them because of my emotions. Our emotions affect how we hear and understand other people. Sigmund Freud, a psychiatrist from many, many years ago, 100 years ago, he said, a man with a toothache cannot love. It's Comes from John Maxwell's book, quotes him. A man with a toothache cannot love. Why? Because he's thinking about his tooth. It's too painful. I can't listen to you. I can't receive your love. I can't receive anything from you because my tooth hurts so bad. Solve the problem with the tooth and we can receive. And many people hurt so bad because of abuse, because of neglect, because of rejection, because of the pain that has been in their life or the pain that is in their life, or the pain that they think might be coming into their life. It's difficult for them to understand us, to listen to us, and to receive from us. So John Maxwell reminds us, let others finish completely what they're saying before we respond. Conclusion. Do you look at the speaker while they're talking to you? If not, why not? If you look at the speaker while they're talking to you, that's wonderful. If you don't, why not? Ask yourself, why don't you look at them? Are you shy? Are you afraid? Intimidated? Second point in the conclusion, do you interrupt others? Why do you interrupt others? Really think about the true reason why you interrupt others. Because you think you know more than them? Because you think you know what they're going to say? Because you think what they're saying is not important? Or because you're so excited, you're so much in agreement with them, you just want to join in? Third point in conclusion, do you listen to others to understand them or only to gather information? And number 4, can you discern underlying issues by noticing nonverbal communication? Do you notice the eyes, the hands, the body, the things they're communicating, not by their words, but by their nonverbal communication? I hope this video was helpful to you. This is number 2 out of 3 short videos. I encourage you to go back to number 1 if you haven't seen it. Wait for number 3. And I want to encourage you, if this has helped you, please copy the link and share it with someone else. And I'd like to encourage you to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and click the bell button so that you know the next time that I upload a video. Thank you so very much. Have a great, wonderful day.